Hi Sagittarius, this is Kay. You're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to your reading. A new round of readings are starting today, starting with you Sagittarius. Please like and subscribe and let's find out what Archangel Michael says you need to know today. Okay, hope you're doing well. We have card number 3, Embrace Your Magnificence. Wow, that's beautiful. Embrace your magnificence. Okay, I will read that one in a moment to see if we can get some more information about the meaning of it. Let me see here. I'm going to read it in a moment, but I just want to, yeah, it's not very long. Okay, so we'll read that in a moment. And let's pull out, let's pull out this Major Arcana card. Since that one flipped up, let's use it. All right, and let's get some clarification for the Fool. Once upon a time, a very long time ago now, about last Friday, Winnie the Pooh lived in a forest all by himself under the name of Sanders. So it's a new beginning, optimism and trust in life. Long time ago, about last Friday. That's funny. Okay. And we have the 8 of Pentacles. So working hard, mastering the ability to move forward towards something new, brand new for you. Let's get a Lenormand and find out more about that. Let's see. Embrace your magnificence. Well, I'm not taking that many. We're going to use the top one here. There's like 5 in total. And with Lenormand, you don't need that many. So Scythe, something that needs to be, oh, never mind. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's tarot. All right. Let's see here. I got my cord in the way too. All right, so embrace the magnificent, your magnificence. Okay. To your magnificent throne, you can return with benevolent acts toward yourself and others. A 4-year-old isn't self-conscious about her power. She plays and struts and boastfully announces her ability to twirl and spit. This is the joy of being, taking up the fullness of your space and strutting the genius of you. Unselfconsciously, even as a young child would. This is an act of generosity as you share your brilliance with the world. You grant permission for others to share theirs. So just be what you want to be without giving it too much thought. Creating your life, moving forward in brilliant, amazing ways is the Fool. Again, it's new beginnings, optimism, and trusting in life. Trusting in life that as you work to master whatever it is that you're moving towards, that which you want to create or experience. It's about not being too, like, this is somebody who's very, very focused, and there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely not. But it's also like it's on a conveyor belt, or like in assembly line kind of thing, where it becomes routine, becomes methodical. It becomes almost like you can do it with your eyes closed, which in many cases that's okay. But if you want to take a risk and take a leap of faith into the unknown in some way, being on an assembly line is kind of the opposite of taking a risk, right? Because this is done methodically with routine. And so the idea would be to, yes, work hard, focus, definitely focus your mind, right? Focus your mind on what it is that you want to create, And but don't get lost in the monotony of it, or the just the familiar of it, the routine. Try different things. Try approaching things differently. And whatever it is that's not helping you to be more gregarious and moving with knowing, not being certain, with uncertainty, moving forward into the mystery of life, of whatever it is that you would like to try or experience, even if you don't know. If you got something, just kind of put one foot in front of the other, like I don't know, is it Moses that put his foot in the raging river of the Red Sea? Raging sea or raging river of the Red Sea, I don't know, but he put his foot in it because he was told to take a step, and he put his foot into the mud. And as he did that, that was his promise that he was going to have, somewhat blind faith for God to help assist him and his people, assist them to cross the river without being swept away. And so God told him, put your foot, take your first step, and he did, and that was God's cue, because he knew that Moses was placing his faith in him, and he parted the sea. And so then there was the riverbed to cross, no water to have to get swept away and die. So that's basically what this is saying, Sagittarius, is to embrace your magnificent. Know that you are protected and well adored and loved by the Most High, the highest being that gives you life, number one, and that too can prosper your life as well. Definitely. So whatever it is, there any kind of thoughts, patterns of thinking, because this is a pattern, right? Again, pattern of things always go the same way, and moves along at the same time as usual. So any kind of patterns of thinking that's going to hinder your ability to just kind of blindly put your foot down in the mud of the river, of the sea, and trusting that everything's going to be fine. You were promised the promised land. You were promised happy times, good times in life, joyful times in life, exciting, exhilarating times in life. Whatever that is hindering that, it's to cut it away. And with the scythe here, when the blade is facing the thing that needs to be cut away, then that's what you're going to cut and harvest, right? When the blade, the other side of the blade isn't, that's what still needs to be, still take time to grow, and still take time to grow and mature. So that won't be cut away and harvested. That's your next week's crops or next year's crops or whatever that you're leaving behind with the swipe of cutting whatever part away, but leaving whatever still there, leaving it for next time. So you may need to think about what it is that is kind of pattern thinking. And it doesn't have to be just negative pattern thinking. It could be a pattern of thinking of positive pattern thinking that is just, it's just too much of a routine, it's too much mechanical to really make an effect. Like, for example, you might say, and this happens all the time, right? People pray that prayer, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. You can say that and pray that till you're purple in the face, but unless you're really feeling it, really putting yourself into that prayer, the heart is not, the heart is what God picks up on. The resonance of your heart picks up on, because God is in your heart. God knows your heart more than you even know your heart. So whatever's in your heart is what God will grant, right? But if it's just on your mind, if it's just something you know and you're just reciting, it doesn't have that emotional edge to it or feel to it, and therefore it's like God doesn't hear it. Of course he hears it. He knows your thoughts, but he's only going to respond to the universe, which is God, is only going to respond to that which your thought is, how it is in balance with your heart energy, your heart feeling. So you can think something all day long, you can know something all day long until you actually believe it in your heart. It's like it's just like throwing words out the window, and it doesn't really make an effect. So that's basically what we're talking about, is the idea of not being too mechanical in your approach to manifesting, which is the Eight of Pentacles is about manifesting. He's creating coins, pentacles. So this is about manifesting. So step into the unknown, put aside the mechanics of your normal or familiar way of going about manifesting or creating or reaching a goal or whatever it is that is on your radar these days, relationship wise too. Put aside your familiar and start like just putting that one toe in the water and saying, I'm going to try something a little different. You don't have to try a big difference, just a little difference, a little tiny tweak, right? A little tiny tweak, like let's say, see if I can give you an example. A little tiny tweak. Let's say you have somebody on your mind, you want to go, you want to get into a relationship with them, or at least have a date with them, right? And what you would normally do is you would text the person. Hey, what are you doing this weekend? How are you doing? What are you doing this weekend? Yeah, I'm not doing too much, but I thought I would do this. I was just wondering if it might be something you'd be interested in doing. You're texting this to the person. Well, the tweak might be you actually call them, speak to them by voice. Or you text them and say, hey, do you have time for a coffee? I'd like to ask you something, right? You've got time for a coffee, so you meet up and have coffee somewhere. So even if it's at work and you have coffee on your coffee break, you agree to have a little chat. And that's when you say, I'm planning on doing this thing. I was wondering if you'd be interested in doing it too. You're face to face, right? Just a little tweak, something different, and see how that really pans out for you. It's going to teach you something, one thing or the other, that's going to help move you towards a next time, even if it's the next time with the same person. Okay, so let's find out what Tarot has to say. We have the Eight of Wands. That's communication. Eight of Wands, and by the way, number 3 card is, to me, 3 is communication as well. And this is a brand new start with 10 adding up to 1, and then you got 0. It's like it's just before the first toe goes in the water. The Fool is like getting yourself into the headspace of what if, the big what if. What if I tried this? What if I did that? That kind of thing. It's pondering, like little Pooh Bear is pondering, and trying to figure out first of all what might be something that you would like to take a risk on, and then taking the action, which is number 1, which is the Magician. That's pulling all your resources together, which would, in this situation, would be your your cell phone, and your cell phone network plan, right? You can have a cell phone, but if you don't have a network plan, there's no point in having a cell phone. But you have a cell phone, you got your resources as a cell phone, you got the actual hardware, you've got the network that you don't even see, but it's there, working for you, and then you have the ability to text and say, hey, there's something I'd like to ask you. Can you take a moment for a coffee break with me? That kind of thing. And so you're pooling your resources together. And one of the resources will be just the courage to do that. And it doesn't take much courage, right, to text somebody. Doesn't really. So it's kind of like those are the kind of things that anyone can do. So you go ahead and make use of that anyone can do, and then start putting your flavor into it. So we got the Eight of Wands. That's communication, fast, passionate, passionate, motivated type of communication back and forth. Okay, and then we have the Ten of Swords. Wow, interesting. Eight of... Okay, so it could be that the Eight of Wands was passionate, all right. It was angry communication that led to feelings of being, you know, tromped on, your heart tromped on, betrayed. Because, you know, with 10 you got the Three of Swords, which is your heartbreak. And then you have the 7 in there, which is like being betrayed, deceived and whatnot. 7 of Swords and 3 of Swords adds up to 10. And then we have the 5 of Swords. Wow. So some kind of happy turned sour. 5 of Swords. And again, you've got the 3 of Swords and you got the 2 of Swords in here. So the 3 of Swords, heartbreak again. 2 of Swords is trying to protect yourself. So you protect yourself by taking all the swords from everybody and leaving them down and out. Here you're down and out with all the swords stuck in your back. Then you fight back and you are protect, but through a defense, a coping mechanism that says, you hurt me, I hurt you back, eye for eye, right? I'm going to take your swords. Yep, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to cause pain, to help me feel better, right? And then we have the 8 of Swords, which just, you know, it puts you up in your head. It didn't, Sagittarius, and I know you well because I'm Sagittarius, it puts you into a conundrum within yourself in the sense that I'm causing that. What did that really do for me? Other than a brief moment of, ha, you see, I can do it too. You can do it, I can do it too. Eye for an eye back, right? But it's like, what really, ultimately, what did that do for me? Did it make it anything any better? You might have felt a little bit better for a time, but now you're looking at it, you're not only because I know you're not only feeling bad that this had happened, you're feeling bad that you went that route, that you went for the eye for an eye route. Okay? You're feeling bad about that. So then the World card comes along, and this is ending a cycle, a chapter in your life, of putting that all behind you. So there was some angry conversations or shooting back and forth at each other. If you say that to me, I'll say this to you. That kind of thing. It's just anger, right? And then feeling like someone has just left you for dead, and now you're trying to do what you need to do to recuperate a sense of control. And the 8 of Swords now, it's like you're thinking, what has that really done for me? Has it helped me in any way? Has it improved me in any way? Sagittarians are always seekers, you know, seeking for the light, they're optimistic. They are the life of the party, really. The Sagittarius are optimistic, life of the party, and happy. And that's all they want to be, is happy. They don't want any of this messy stuff. But understanding that does happen, obviously. But a new chapter is on the horizon for you. The King of Wands. Well, look at that. Now, if you're the King of Wands, wow, you've stepped into your power. But you might be the Queen of Wands that we're talking to, like a feminine here. And this is somebody that is going to be like a match to you, a counterpart to you, and it's going to be like on fire. Let's find out more. We have the 10 of Cups. Okay, 10 of Cups. We have the Ace of Swords. Yes. And then the Judgment card. answering the call of your heart. And the Sun, oh my goodness. We've got Temperance, healing. Yeah, balance, healing, peace, and justice. Wow. Okay, back to the deck. We have the Two of Wands. Yeah, all right. The Three of Wands. Wow. And the Queen of Pentacles with the Empress card. How, wow. And the Ten of Pentacles, let's say. This is looking really good, Sagittarius. I don't know. It looked really good. The top line there, it started looking like, oh, I don't know where we're going with this one. But you're cutting all that away, because however you may have approached a relationship, and it's interesting that I used that as an example, however you usually approach a relationship, maybe you are a texter, maybe you are somebody who really likes to text a lot to your person instead of actually, spending time to talk on the phone, voice to voice or in person. Making those efforts, those commitments, right? Like I said, you can text how many people at the same time, right? But you're never really present with one if you're doing that, because you have to keep responding to other people and then asking them questions too. Because if you're texting a lot, and I know this myself, if you're texting a lot of people at the same time, and I'm not saying you're doing that, but you're texting a lot of people at the same time, you got to start asking them questions too, instead of just answering their questions, because then it's a one-sided conversation. They eventually drop off, which may be, good for you, but that's not really having much of a relationship with somebody when it's a one-sided thing. They're asking you questions, you're answering, but you're not asking them anything about what's going on with them. So they're going to feel like you're not really interested, unless they're the type of person who that sort of thing doesn't bother them. And there are plenty out there that they feel that way when they're communicating. It doesn't bother them. They'd rather not have people ask them about themselves, because that's one of their coping mechanisms, to not talk about themselves. Anyways, we've got you with argumentative conversation, or talking back and forth. Could have been texting, feeling down and out, like I said, you doing what you need to do to kind of gain back some kind of feeling of control over the pain that they caused. And now you're up in your head because you're worried about moving forward. And now the divine is saying here, with the Fool and the Eight of Pentacles, just like we talked about, embrace your magnificence, is cut away, remove that which you've always done it a certain way. You always went into a relationship a certain way. Sorry, that's my cat. He's kind of loony. Like cuter than heck. He's going like this on the door. Just on anything, really. It doesn't have to be a door. Anything. So, and wow in the background. So this is what's going on, is that you need to kind of embrace your magnificent, which is the same as saying embrace your uniqueness. Your uniqueness. Go into a relationship from a different point of view, different perspective, a different thinking, a different way of approaching it. So if you were the type of person who always was the person who pursued somebody, pursued them, okay, you might want to hang back a little bit. But like I was talking about, the texting back and forth, is that you don't want to hang back so much that when they are like allowing you to pursue them, you don't, because you're waiting for them to pursue you. But since they're not responding to you after you let them know in some way that you're interested in them, if they're not responding to you in some way, then you just don't do anything. Because, and that's not what I'm talking about. When you're pursuing somebody, bring a balance into it, more give and take, just like the text messaging. You're going to have to ask your other person some questions, because if they keep asking you and you respond, or maybe you don't even respond, they're just going to give up on you. and they're going to think that you're not interested. So that's kind of thing. It's like, make sure that whatever you're going to do when it comes to starting a new relationship, or trying to bring some kind of healing to this relationship here, if it's that important to you, Sagittarius, and you still have strong feelings for this person, even though they basically betrayed you, and it's the whole, as a result, the relationship, the trust and bond and whatever has been sabotaged, right? And it's left you feeling kind of numb and in pain, of course, and somewhat maybe beating yourself up too, especially if you had to, he or she threw a dart at you, so you threw a dart back, or maybe 2 darts, and you might be feeling bad about doing that. Okay, so you're just say, I'm putting an end to that way. That's the chapter of my life. I'm closing the book on that. I'm going to start doing things slightly different, because you can do that. And the divine is saying, you put one little toe in the water, I'll not only move the waters for you, I'll move mountains for you, right? I will roll out the red carpet, and all you have to do is walk along, because you just follow the red carpet like the yellow brick road, and it's always going to lead you to Oz, God, right? So it's going to lead you to all the good things, all the best things, all the best relationships. You're going to have the healing factor in it. Okay, so King of Wands, I would say this is your person that you're a counterpart to. Right, so if this is not your King of Wands, which I'm sort of feeling it's not, it could be though. We're karmic, and they're turning into your counterpart. They've grown from the pain and the experiences that they caused you, or that was caused to them. Okay, they've grown. But if it's not the King of Wands here, that maybe you're done with that relationship, you got somebody, a counterpart on your radar. And so, and Sagittarius, I did this reading, my pick a card reading that I do on Sunday nights on my other channel called Soul Seekers Tarot, and it had to do with the question that we're going to discover with 3 piles. Pick a pile. Was you're both on each other's radar. Would they be a karmic soulmate, or a true soulmate, or possibly a twin flame to you? So you might want to check that out if you feel like it. But in any case, this one would be the karmic that taught you lessons, and that was all what it was for. It's generally, we do not stay in a relationship for a very long period of time. Could be many years, but it's going to eventually end, because where the whole idea is the karmic is to, whatever the karmic is doing is something that you have to figure out how to learn to live with, accept, forgive, and move on from. Okay, and so through the pain, right, the pain of it, and then you are then grown and evolved yourself, that you then attract a higher level soulmate to you that is more, because of the growth that you have occurred. You're going to have that magnet, that heart magnet, that's saying, it's calling out to the universe, I'm vulnerable, I'm emotionally vulnerable and available to someone on the same page with me. That's this one here. And then it's a 10 of Cups. We don't have to really explain that, do we? 10 of Cups is a happily ever after. Ace of Swords is like, this is an epiphany. This is like God saying, you are now moving in the energy of truth-seeking, Sagittarius. Truth, you are moving in truth. So you're not going to have somebody, you're not going to be attracting somebody who's going to betray you again. In however way that was, if it was another relationship they were having that was a betrayal, or they just did something else that was drastic enough to you it felt like a betrayal. But you are answering the call of your heart to take a leap of faith, and to, to relax your, what did I call this? A conveyor belt, assembly line way of doing things, thinking number 1, and doing things number 2, because thinking and feeling come together. So whatever, there's 3, there's thinking, feeling, and doing. All right. So thinking will make you do something. Thinking differently will cause you to do something differently. So you're answering the call of your heart, which is God, you know, calling out to you. He wants you to be happy. He, she wants you to be happy. Happy, sun, happiness, feeling enlightened, feeling, you know, blessed, feeling healed, and feeling joyful and just light and airy, and just like all the good, you know, this beautiful 2 white horses are like just flying, and you're just enjoying the heck out of that. And then temperance, they've got the healing here. You've got the balance between the heart and the mind, and because you are choosing to follow the urges of your heart and take a leap of faith, cutting away old patterns of thinking that cause you to approach something in the same usual way, but hoping for something different. You cut that away. You're going to cut that away, and you're going to tweak things so that you actually turn on. You know, they say how genes are dormant until they're turned on. It's like you're going to turn on a dormant gene in you that's going to cause your blood to flow with something else with it, you know, throughout your body, that then is that frequency of that new gene, the gene that's a better improved you gene. It's going to vibrate out to the universe like that magnet I talk about, and you're going to be attracting, magnetizing someone who's on the same page with you in so many ways, because Sagittarius, you are the queen of wands. Unless you are a man, you are the king of wands. You step into your power that way. You are so magnetic, you're attractive, you're life of the party. Like I said, you are you know, you're a go-getter. You don't back down to challenges and obstacles, and you always fight for the underdog kind of thing. You just are ready for battle in the most best ways, okay? And I don't mean battle that will have you like doing this sort of thing, eye for an eye stuff, although you can and you will if you need to, except that you're going to be in your 8 of Swords again. So it's kind of like trying to figure out how to defend yourself as the king or queen of wands, but do it in a way that is not going to be, you know, is not going to leave an indelible mark on someone else's heart and mind, because ultimately it hurts us. It hurts us. And I believe that you're smart enough to realize that and why you're in the 8 of Swords. It hurts us in the end. Just like if you can't forgive somebody, it's not hurting them that you're not forgiving them. It's only hurting ourselves if we withhold forgiveness. We're the only ones that's pain. They're toddling along in their day. They don't give a care if you've forgiven them or not, for the most part. So justice, it's like balance again. We got balance. We got balance. You know, like just got balance all over everything. It's just the divine is saying you're following your heart. You are receiving justice now. Whatever you had to pay for karmically here, it's now balanced itself out here. So what this was karmic, paying off karmic debt. That's why we get into a karmic relationship, because we built up karma before you met that person who's a karmic soulmate, or while you're with that person. You got karmic debt to pay off there. You pay that off with the pain that you suffered from this, that you now are moving in the direction of Dharma, and you're collecting Dharma, which is all like the fortunate stuff, right? So then we have the 2 of Wands. It's just about you saying, I have been this way, now I'm going that way, right? You're at crossroads, you have a decision to be made, and it's about whether or not you're going to put your toe in the river, right there with the Fool. 3, once you decide to do that, you're going to be prepared. You're looking across the waters to the future, to the horizon, and you're seeing that it's time for you to go. It's time for you you're prepared, and it's time for you to go. Queen of Pentacles. You are like, you're going to be making a commitment to somebody. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, let's just say, you're not out here. Okay, it's not showing, but you are, like, that's your energy. But you're also stepping into the Queen of Pentacles energy, and at times you step into the Empress energy. where you are all 4 queens at all at once. You know, you have integrated all the qualities of each one of these queens. Like the quality of the Queen of Pentacles is, and I've already explained the qualities of the Queen of Wands, but the Queen of Pentacles is like, she's a nurturer. Yes, she's one that is highly respected. She's very powerful. She's a hard worker herself. She is the type of person that people go to for advice, and she's quite grounded and intuitive, and she's just like, she's like a mother, okay, because she's like a mom to kids, okay, and she's a wife. She's committed. She can be a committed. She's committed to anything that she puts her cause into. And I said cause, not claws. Puts her cause into. So she's the quintessential spousal commitment. She is somebody that is really great marriage material and will commit, which you probably tried to commit here, and it just maybe backfired on you. But you step in and out of the Empress energy, because we're not in the Empress energy every single moment, every single day, unless you've truly mastered the art of being a Buddha, okay? But we've got the 10 of Pentacles here. That's long-term commitment. So I think what is going on here, Queen of Wands, is that you and him are counterparts. And look, she's got a baby, the Empress, right? Whoops, sorry. You are coming together as to commit. This person here wants to have your hand in marriage, you know, wants to commit to you, that sort of thing. You become a wife, but you also have become wiser and integrated all the qualities of each one of the queens in the deck. And now you've got a long-term happy, with the 10 of Cups, happy relationship moving forward. Because, and it's all because, now this is the most important thing, it's all because you decided to put your toe in the river by tweaking the usual way that you think about a relationship, that you approach a relationship, that you do anything. Give it a think before you do it. So if you're feeling the urge to text, let's say if that's something you always would normally do, stop yourself. Put your phone down for a second and say, what else could I do instead of texting? Instead of seeing if they'll respond to my text message. Isn't that really what that's all about? To text somebody to see if they'll respond to me. Because it is the most non-threatening type of commitment to make to somebody. If someone texts, they could easily just ignore your text. And then they could say, if you ever ask, they could say, oh, I'm sorry, I never got it. You know, and how are you ever going to know, right? So it is really about feeling the other person out, to see if they're going to respond to you, if they see that you are worthy of their response or reply. And all you need to know is that you are worthy of anyone's response and reply. And why would you ever want it from somebody who's going to ignore it? Just something else for you to think about, right? So just kind of that idea is that you are to give it a think, cut away the usual patterns, so that you can harvest the crop, the good crop. You know, harvest the good crop. That is this one here. This is the good crop, right there. Okay? With the 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, you as the Empress, you as the committed queen that's highly respected by your person. Who cares if anyone else respects you? Highly respected by your person. You are answering the call to put your toe in the water, to do things slightly different. You're going to be happy with the sun. You're going to be healing whatever ouches this was that caused to you, because you paid off your karmic debt. You're now actually building up Dharma. Okay, so keep going the distance with Dharma, because as you move through this relationship and any other relationship, just move through life in general in a just way, everything's going to be balance for you. That red carpet just keeps extending, it's extending and extending for you. And good, you know, you're going to have days that are not, but for the most part, good things are coming your way all the time. So I hope this was helpful. Take care of yourself and be well. Bye.